So GOP members of the Oversight Committee essentially are alleging that Biden family members received millions from foreign entities in what has been described as a, quote, web of LLCs in an effort to hide where the money was coming from during and shortly after Joe Biden was vice president. So when you hear that claim, despite the fact of, no, it hasn't been proven to be illegal, the question of, is this ethical, certainly is raised. And Oversight Chairman James Comer said this: "We will continue to pursue additional bank records to follow the money trail and inform legislative solutions to prevent this type of corruption." Can you give us more details here? What do these legislative solutions look like?
Well, one, if the tables were turned, and if we were talking about one of Donald Trump's kids, there would be more indictments than we have paper. It is just a complete double standard. But what does it look like going forward? I guess the question becomes additional financial disclosures for dependents or for adult children or family members of the president. There's a lot of different things that you could do disclosure-wise. I think that the American people, one, the lies that were told during the last election regarding all of this information, I think we got to have accountability for that. If Hunter Biden is going to get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to sit on an oil and gas company in Ukraine, the president needs to own that and needs to explain to the American people why his son is such a savant as it relates to energy, or the fact that multiple Chinese entities are giving him millions of dollars. Why? What are his skill sets necessary to provide such value? And the answer to all of that is that he's his father's son, and his father is currying favor with those in order to give his son income. And look, the American people know this, and we will show that laws have been violated, and we will show that this course of conduct was intentional, was a pay for play, and it's wrong, and we need to make sure it never happens again.
Congressman, you brought up Donald Trump's family, and let's talk about some differences here. As you know, there was criticism of Trump's family, including Don Jr., Ivanka Trump, Eric Trump, and the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, for profiting off of his presidency. Now, you, along with your colleagues, are raising concerns that Hunter allegedly enriched himself from foreign entities, essentially based on his father's last name. So what are the differences here that you see?
I would imagine education, experience, success prior to Trump being in office. I would argue that if you look at their tax returns, they're not very different. Same can't be said for Hunter and for the Biden family.
Sir, I want to ask you a hypothetical question. Do you think that Republicans, including yourself, including those on the House Oversight Committee, would have this same energy towards this investigation if President Biden and his family were Republicans?
I think that the American people deserve accountability, they deserve transparency, and they deserve to know that the president and his family are not profiting off of their office. And I don't care what party the president's in. Obviously, the previous administration, there were all kind of questions about Trump hotels and all this stuff. The Democrats went to the ends of the earth, and they didn't find anything concrete. So here we are. We already have concrete evidence of misdoings. Hunter Biden should not ever make millions of dollars. He has shown that he has no skill sets. He has shown that he has a drug problem. He can't even pay child support for his child that he had out of wedlock. This guy is a joke. And here we are wondering whether it's inappropriate for Ukraine and for China to give him millions of dollars. Come on. You don't need to be a foreign prosecutor. You don't need a law degree. You just need to have the common sense that every single American has, and they know that this is wrong, and they know that it smells and there's smoke, and we're going to find the fire, and we're going to hold them accountable, because that's what the American people want.
Congressman, when I was talking to your colleague last week, Representative Jared Moskowitz, I asked him about the appropriateness of these payments. He said they were legal, but I said there is a question of ethics here. Let's hear your answer. And he said, we're not the ethical committee. There's an ethics committee. And he accused GOP lawmakers of taking the oversight committee hostage. What do you think of his characterization there?
I think that's rich coming from my colleagues across the aisle who for the last 4 years have weaponized every part of government, who have weaponized every committee in this Congress, who have really they've undercut the legitimacy of the oversight process. They've undercut the legitimacy of Congress's relationship with the executive branch. They've undercut the legitimacy of the executive branch. All the problems that we see right now with confidence in government, whether it is with the FBI, Department of Justice, Congress, the Senate, whatever it is, come from the left weaponizing government to go after their political enemies. It's being done right now in New York by the district attorney. It has been done by the FBI. It was done by the Obama administration. Republicans don't do that. We want less government. We want less government across the board. I'm a libertarian at the federal level. I want the federal government to do as little as possible. And they want to use the government to reshape society in their world's view. So I just think it's rich that they think that we've weaponized the Oversight Committee. They should have gotten this information years ago. It was available. The fact that we're only looking for it now shows that they're the ones that weaponized the Oversight Committee.